Hi everyone, it's Brett, and many of you probably saw my post from earlier. All excited because I was finally able to find a bottle of 1792 Sweet Wheat. This is something that I've been searching for quite a while, and I was very excited to find it. My go-to store in a neighboring Bartlesville got 2 bottles of it, and I was the one able to procure one of them. What I've decided to do, rather than just taste it, one of my goals with wanting the 1792 is because I really like Wheaters, and I have 2 Wheaters here that I am fond of, and I want to compare them. So first is Weller's Antique 107. Second is Rebel Yell 10-year single barrel, and then the 1792 Sweet Wheat, which I have not tried. I just opened it, poured it. So I poured out 3 glasses, and I purposely made it so that I don't know which one they are. There's numbers on them, and they're on masking tape on the bottom of the glass. I purposely mixed them all up and walked away, came back, mixed them up again, and I've done everything I can to make sure that I don't know which one's which. Okay? Full disclosure, here's my little cheat sheet showing what the 1, 2, and 3 are that are on the bottom of the glass. So we're going to see how this compares to 2 well-known Wheaters that I already know that I like. Okay? This is the one that's closest to my left hand. I'm left-handed, so I'll go with it. All right? I can smell some heat, a lot of vanilla, honey. This one's very rich. It's full. It smells like it is a little higher proof, maybe. But gosh, the vanilla is super, super nice. There's even some butterscotch into it. Very rich smell. I like the nose. There's no burn, but you can tell that it's alcoholic. It's smooth and it's creamy. A little bite on the finish. Oh wow, that's so smooth. There's almost no spice to this. It's very creamy, it's sweet, lots of vanilla and butterscotch to a lesser degree. It is completely smooth. I like it a lot. I'm not big into a huge spice on my bourbon, like a lot of people are. Gosh, I really like that. Still tastes like bourbon, but it's very sweet. It's not cloying though. It's pretty balanced. I like it. Let's see what number 2 is. Let me get a little sip of water here. There wasn't much in that. Hold on 1 second. Let me get some water. Okay. All right. Next one. This has less vanilla, more honey, more oak. Very little oak in the other one. Very woody in the nose. Very smooth still. Also a pleasant nose. Not as strong a nose as the first one. Way more honey. A little cinnamon. There's more spice on this one. I like it. It's not too much. Most of the spice hits at the end of the palate and in the finish. There's a tiny hint of the baking spice in the nose, but not very much. It's not quite as velvety on the tongue as the other one, but it's thick feeling. And the finish is actually longer on this one than on the first one. Sticks with you. The other one had a medium to short finish. I like it. A little bit more traditional tasting maybe than the other one. Still had all the vanilla notes, not the butterscotchy taste that I had with the other one though. All right. Now we're back to no spice at all in the nose. This is more like caramel. Not so much honey or vanilla. There's some of vanilla there, but it's more like caramel. It smells, I don't know how to put this, it smells darker than the other two. There's depth to it. Still no burn. Just a tiny bit of cinnamon. Maybe a tiny bit of raisin. Yeah, definitely some kind of raisin or dried fruit. Just a hint. The caramel and the vanilla mix. It's a thick, buttery feel. That's the word. The mouth feel is buttery. It coats your cheeks and your tongue and your gums. It's very coating. It's rich. Significant burn on the backside in the finish. Still leaves honey, some oak. Finish is a little shorter than the second one though. I messed up that swallow. That wasn't the fault of the whiskey. That was my lack of coordination. I breathed in before my swallowing was done, as I'm occasionally prone to do. I was finished anyway. Both of these are good. Both of these are, all three of these are good. They're all things that I would drink. The first one, I think, was the sweetest. Lots of vanilla, very little spice, very, very creamy feel. Relatively short finish, and a wonderful, wonderful nose. It's sweet, honey, just pleasant all the way around. Let's see what this one is. This is number 3. This is the 1792 sweet wheat, the one I've never had before. It is, when they say sweet wheat, they mean it. It's sweet. It's not cloying though. It's not going to drive you away from it with the sweet. It's not like something like a TX blended whiskey that is so sweet that it just needs to be mixed with something. I wouldn't mix this with anything. And by the way, I didn't water any of these either. These are all straight out of the bottle. So, all right. And that one comes in, by the way, at 91.2 proof. All right. This one had more spice to it. I could get baking spice out of the nose and the taste both. This one had the longest finish, the most satisfying finish. If you like spice, this one's better. Still extremely smooth. This did not have this velvety, creamy mouth feel that the first one had. And this one is number 2. This is the Rebel Yell 10-year, one of my go-to wheated bourbons. An excellent daily drinker if you can find it. Both of these are great bourbons. They're just a little different. And that means that the last one, which was more caramel, less vanilla and honey, the one that I swallowed wrong and choked on, but that wasn't its fault. This one again had a very thick, heavy feel, and I also got a little bit of raisin out of the nose and some dried fruit out of the nose. This one's the most complex of the 3, and it is the OWA, the Old Weller's Antique. It's a higher proof. I would expect to have a little more complex flavor of it. By the way, the Rebel Yell is 100 proof. So you've got 107, 100, and approximately 92 proof. So the 172 sweet, or 1792 sweet wheat is definitely the lowest proof. I didn't really notice a proof difference when I tasted them, other than the fact that I got a little more sweetness out of the 1792. I would drink any of these every single day of the week. If you're on the fence about any of them, don't hesitate, get them. If you want really, really heavy spice in your bourbon, these are not your guy. But if you want something smooth, if you want something pleasant and more of a lighter summertime type bourbon, these are all excellent. I would buy any of them again. And I am so happy that I finally found the sweet wheat and was able to get it. Hopefully that does some good for you guys and you enjoyed the review. And hopefully that'll set some guidelines for you. By the way, don't get nuts on buying this for any price available. I bought this for just under $36. It's $35 and some change. All right? Don't go out there and pay 80 or 90 bucks for it because there's not very many of them out there. It's out right now. It is a great, great bourbon at this price. If you pay over 50 bucks for it, you're getting ripped off. It's your money, do what you want, but I'm just telling you. You have a good day, guys.